Hey guys, this is Johny Saade, makeup artist. I'm here with Kiana today. And we're going to show you some Oscar red carpet looks. And the first one we're going to do is Chrissy Teigen from Oscars 2016 at the red carpet. Today we're using Lorac for the Chrissy Teigen look, which was actually used for the red carpet. And we're going to show you step by step of all the products and how to recreate it at home. We're going to start by prepping the skin. I usually start with a cleanser and just kind of cleanse the skin a little bit. Get all the impurities out, kind of clean up the skin. We have a fresh canvas. The skin prep is very important during the day. So we cleanse the face and now we're going to moisturize. I like to add a little moisture to the face. It always helps the foundation. And then what I do is I use my beauty blender and kind of just blend it all into the skin. As everything else, I'm going to prep the lips too, put a little lip balm. So by the time we get to the lips, they'll be all hydrated and ready to put the lipstick on them. Next, I'm going to do some primer on the face. And I always prime before I do foundation because it just helps take a little bit of the shine. It helps the foundation stay on longer. We're going to start with the foundation, the Perfection Foundation by Lorac. So I usually like to mix two colors, at least two. And that's how I kind of do my highlighting and contouring. So dab it onto the beauty blender, like so. And I start in the center of the face, so close your eyes for me. I start over the eyes. And you just want to stipple it in, stippling action. Make sure you blend all the way down the neck. People forget to do that all the time. And then I'm going to use a little bit of the darker color. Same brand, same company. They're literally one shade apart. This will just warm her up, and I'll do this on the perimeter of the face. Make sure to go in the hairline a little bit, because you don't want to line up there either. So I'll do like a number 3. And then what I usually do is set it with powder. And we just powder, translucent powder. I usually do just the center of the face. So the eyes, the nose, around the lips, and the forehead. What I do with brows, I usually like to use 2 colors because you get more dimension with the colors. You get more of a natural looking brow. So we're gonna start with the lighter color. Always brush them up. Give them a nice little brush, get them in place. And I like to start kind of at the arch and just little strokes. Turn slightly this way here. And all you want to do is just kind of go in and fill in if there's any gaps, any holes, anything like that, just kind of even it out. And what I'm doing here is just extending lightly. This is kind of your guideline. The side of the nostril, the end of the eye, is kind of where you want it to be, like right there. Now with the darker pencil, we're just going to focus on the outer 3/4 of the brow. I always like to brush through it just to soften it up because you don't want it to be too bold. Okay, so now we're going to start with this behind the scenes eye primer. And I always love using primers because I feel like it helps the eyeshadow just stay on longer, not crease up. It's amazing. It just makes such a difference. It makes the colors pop a little bit more. It's really cool. I'm just using a synthetic flat brush to apply the primer. And I like to work off the back of my hand. And what I'll do is I'll just do a light coat on the lid. I usually do from the crease down. So this is the Lorac palette that I'm going to use to recreate Chrissy Teigen's look. But a great alternative that I'm going to show you later on how to use is this Nude City Colors eyeshadow palette. Let me open it up for you so you can see. Very similar colors, and I'll demonstrate it in later tutorials. And we're going to get the eyeshadow palette, Lorac Gold. And we're going to start with, let's do Unleashed first on the lid. With the same brush that I just used the primer on. I'm just going to tap, getting the excess off my hand. Stipple it right in the middle of the eye, from crease to lash line. Then I'm going to get this lighter color called Uninhibited. That's going to go in the inner corner. So now we're going to do a little highlight underneath the brow. I'm going to use Unlocked. And we just need a little bit right underneath the arch. And wow, that's a lot. So I'm just going to blend it with my finger. So we're just going to blend right underneath the brow bone, or on the brow bone, and just make sure to blend it out really nicely. Next, I'm going to use Undeniable, which is this color right here. Tap the brush in, close your eyes. And this is going to go all over, even over the initial eyeshadows that we put, all the way up to the crease, and just work it on the eyelid, and just buff it above the crease a little bit. Blend, 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 that's the key. I'm gonna get a pencil looking brush like this with the same color. Tap any excess. Look up for me. We're gonna go underneath the bottom lash. And you're just gonna connect the top and bottom eyeshadow. Just connect it. You can blink. And I use my beauty blender like an eraser, so if there's any fallout, I kind of go in and then what I like to do is get my beauty blender and pull upward and out. So if you have eyes that kind of droop down a little bit, it kind of gives you that shape of pulled up a little bit. I'm just gonna buff close. Buff this corner again. You want it all to kind of be seamless, no hard lines, just very soft and buffed out. And then I'm gonna use unedited, just this color right here. And I'm gonna work on the outer corner, turn slightly. And just in the crease a little bit right here. And I use the same brush that I used on Undeniable, the brown that I used before this one. And then I'm gonna use this pencil brush that I used earlier to unedit it again. And then look up for me. Just in the outer corner here. 3/4, that's all you want to do. Next I'm going to use the, let's see what this is called, Lorac Front of the Line Pro. It's an eyeliner. It's in a bronzy brown color. So what I'm going to do is go across the lash line with it. So close for me. We're just going to buff it in right on the lash line. From inner corner to outer corner. And you just want a soft focused line. It doesn't have to be perfect. We're gonna use a little bit of a liquid liner. And just, I'm using my own brush because I like to get in there, be able to draw right on the lash line. Turn slightly this way. And I'm just following her lash line. You don't want to draw a flicker or anything, just a straight line. Or let's see, open up for me. And we can do a little bit on the bottom too. Look up for me. And you don't have to do necessarily a straight line, just the brush back and forth. Now we're going to curl the lashes. 10 seconds. Then we're going to use the Lorac mascara, Cobra mascara in black. It's off. Look down for me. Work it from the root to the tip to really get a nice full coverage on the lashes. From root to tip, I mean. And whatever is left on your brush, just kind of brush them on the bottom lash. I like to brush them a little bit outward. All right, so next we're gonna do some lashes, and I've opted, because I don't know what lashes they used on her for the actual red carpet, but I'm gonna do shorts and medium and Ardell lashes. So I'm gonna use some Duo glue. I'm gonna start with the short lashes first and just dip a little bit. Look down for me. You can blink if you need to blink. And I'm just gonna place one at a time. I like using these because they look natural, but they give you a lot of volume.
I like the individual lashes.
Yeah. And you just want to stick them right on the edge, not on the skin, right before it touches the skin. And just go all the way across the eye, from inner to outer corner. And I always get asked this question, like, do I do mascara first? Do I do it after? I do both, before and after, because it just gives it that extra fullness that you want, you know? Now I'm going to use the medium. Start at the outer corner, and I'm going to alternate between the short ones. So I left a little space between each short one. So I can place a little medium in between, so it gives you that flared kind of look. I'm only going to do it almost 3/4, so from here to here with the medium. And I'm going to go over them one more time with the Cobra mascara. All right, next we're going to do some concealer. So with the concealer, I like to use these fluffy brushes to apply them. Look up for me. And you go from the inner corner up almost to the brow. And then I'll just go over it with the Beauty Blender, so just look up. And this kind of works it into the skin, you know? So I'm just gonna go back with the pencil brush with whatever leftover products on there. Look up for me a little bit. And I'm just gonna kind of blend this back out so we don't have a harsh line from the concealer. Next, I'm gonna use a highlighter, an actual highlighter with like shimmer. And this is Lorac. It's called Twilight Illuminating Highlighter. A little fluffy brush. And this I like to do right here on top of the brow bone, 3/4. So you want to go like 3/4. You can kind of connect it there, underneath the brow, like a little C. That's what you want to do. Look up for me. I'm going to do a little translucent powder just right here where I put the concealer, because we don't want it to crease too much. Next, let's do some cheeks. So we have this Lorac powder, bronzing powder. It's called Perfection Baked Perfecting Powder. And it's in color deep. We're gonna use it like a bronzer. So I'm using a big fluffy brush. Turn it slightly this way. Buff it in. So from the middle of the, right where your cheekbone is, so middle of the ear, and I always do it 3/4, and just buff it all out. So the other side, find that cheekbone and just go right underneath it, and just buff. Again, less is more, you can always build up, and work the perimeter as well. So jawline, temple, forehead. Next I'm gonna use the Lorac blush, and it's in color Prism. And this is gonna go on the apples of the cheek. And just buff it out. You just want a slight hint of color. And then what I like to do is just go over it with the bottom side of the Beauty Blender. Yeah, and it's nice, it just kind of works it into the skin and kind of makes it all natural looking. With the powder blush, I try to focus right on the apples of the cheek. Lastly, we're gonna do some lips. So we're gonna use the, let's see, what's this one called? Matte Lip Color. So it's like a chubby pencil, it's kind of nice. Got a nice edge to it.
Smells good.
And we're gonna fill in and use it almost like a lip liner and just fill the whole lip with it. Blot your lips together. I'm slightly just overdrawing just a little bit. And finally with the lip, we're gonna use the Ultra Ego lip gloss. And then I have the same concealer brush that I used earlier. And I'm just gonna go back here, right on the edge, the corner of the lip, and just kind of really define these lips. So we just finished this look of Chrissy Teigen from the Oscars 2016. On to the next look.
Thank you.
Thank you.